Hey YouTube, so it's the next day for me, Wednesday for you. Still cleaning up the fish room. I made it about a quarter of the way, as you guys saw in my last video, and hopefully I'll make it all the way around the rest of the room today. So, as you can see, it's bright and early. I got all day to work on this, so I love being in here when the sun is shining through the windows. I love the way it looks on my tanks, and it's just the best time to be in the fish room. So stay tuned and we'll see what we find. So this doesn't look nearly as good on camera as it does in person. Look at this female here, just nice and bright, got the rays, the sun rays shining in here. I wish it looked as good on camera as it does right now. So in one of my old videos I showed this big fella right here was always sitting on the gravel for probably about a month, but whatever happened, he seems to be better at. Haven't seen him down there in a while. But everything just looks way better with natural sunlight. But anyways, I'm going to get to work. Also, real quick, just a quick look at this planted tank that we looked at yesterday. My moss tree, not really a tree, but stump, still holding together pretty well. But a lot of people always ask me when I add fertilizers, do I add it the day I do the water changes, after? I got my fertilizer here, and I normally do it the day after. I don't have any rhyme or reason. I just do it the day after. I don't know why, but in my brain that makes sense. So, like I said, no scientific reason, but I just kind of squirt it in my little feed hole here. Getting kind of low. These are only like half squirts, but in this tank I do the Easy Green from Aquarium Co-op. I do about 6 squirts every 2 days. Just because it is extremely high light. I'm running CO2, and it really makes the stargrass grow really fast and allows me to sell more of it. So I might as well show you guys this tank too. One, because the sun is shining through it and I think it looks awesome. Not that that correlates well on video. But the water's still kind of cloudy. You saw how many plants I tore out of here, and moss and just everything I tore out of here yesterday. I'm probably going to end up with an algae bloom in here simply because half the plants are gone. And you know, it's still not really a high-tech tank, but I still fertilize it. No CO2 in this one though. I'm thinking about adding it just to get this hair grass to spread faster, but I don't know that it actually would. It's getting a ton of light from the sun. Gets that for about 3 hours every morning, plus 2 Phoenix Ray 2s, I think. Not really sure. Don't remember. It's been so long. But just to give you an update on this one, probably going to end up with an algae bloom, but that's perfectly alright. Everything in here will probably just love it. Anyways, now I'm really going to get to work. Alright, so it's a bit later in the day. I started in the morning. I kind of tinkered around in here for a little bit, but got distracted. Now it's the evening, and now I really got to get back to work. However, when I came back, I found another water disaster. So, let's take a look at the aftermath. So we're at my workbench here. This is afterwards. When I saw it, I just grabbed, I just started pulling stuff off the shelf. Basically what happened is my filter here, apparently it's been too long since I've cleaned it, and it actually got clogged up and overflowed out the back, and so this water was drained probably another 3 inches below this. You might notice in my older videos I had towels across here, so thankfully that soaked up a lot of it, but I had to take all those towels out, throw them in the wash, take everything down. You know, my 10-gallon tanks are gone, everything's a mess here. So that's kind of what I've been doing. It was kind of emergency mode, so I didn't get to film any of it, but that's alright. And then I noticed this guy back here. One of my snails actually crawled out and obviously died. So that's a bummer. So that definitely gave me motivation. Now I've got this thing almost all the way cleared out, and hopefully I'll be able to get it out of here soon and make more room for tanks. But I'm going to get back to water changes. So as you can see, just doing my water change on the 125 gallon here. And I've been looking at this thing for way too long. I've had this since Black Friday, and I think I finally want to play with it. I feel this tank is extremely overstocked, and I'd like to be able to see what this thing can do. The only unfortunate thing is that it's not going to fit in the stand, so it's probably going to have to live over here. We're going to have to kick out John Wayne from his corner, and I'll just set it over here on the side for now. Alright, so I've actually never used one of these before, and if anyone's been following me for a while, you know that I've only ever really used one canister filter, like ever. So, this should be interesting. Looks like we got the directions right on top, just peeking through there. More directions, and more directions. Alright, so what do we got here? I'm sure some of you people that have used these for a long time are going to absolutely cringe as I open this, and you know exactly what you're doing, and I have no idea what I'm doing with this thing. So we got all our valves, hose clamps. Well, this thing is a beast. It's pretty neat. What else do we got in here? A nice thick manual, more directions, more instructions. Looks like we got one hose here. And now for this big fella here. Get that out of the way. Well, alright, what do we got here? What's going on? Here we go. Alright. That's plenty long enough. Pretty neat. It's supposed to be like the drain plug down here, I hope. Now it looks like this is gonna I think it came with a free gravel vac, but that's kind of gimmicky. I don't really care about that. Looks like we got foam, more foam. Let's see how badly I can do this. There we go. Oops. All kinds of foam and different types of media. Alright, so apparently those just come off. Got our bio rings here. This has the potential to turn into a mess real quick, so let's see what I can do. Filter sock for our own media down there. Hey, you know what? I've been sitting on some Purigen for months. Maybe I will actually try it. Yeah, let me go grab some. I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are. ChemiPure Elite. I'm not really sure what all the hype is on this stuff, but why not? Why not try it? I've had it forever. Maybe a year. Oh, it already comes in a bag apparently. kind of gross. Alright, well screw you bags, I'm going to use this one, because this stuff looks nasty. It does say I'm supposed to rinse this first, I believe. Seal in container till ready for use. Rinse lightly under running water, then place... Okay, I'm going to go rinse this lightly under running water, and then I'll be right back. So apparently, old Boyd Enterprises has a different definition of, what does it say? Rinse lightly under running water. It's been rinsing for 15 minutes now, and it still has all this black guck, black and brown, just junk still coming out of it. So that's going in the trash. Glad I wasted that money. So what I'm going to use instead is I'm just going to put crushed coral in there. It's not going to be enough to really make a difference, but it's something. And I want to put something in here. So, see what kind of mess I can make. Okay, so I got my valves on, I got one of my hoses on here. I'm gonna have to move this to get into place to put it exactly where I'm gonna need to cut it at and find something to cut it with. But that's what I'm gonna work on now. So I got the top off, and I think I'm gonna rearrange these rocks to make room for the intake and also get that sponge filter all the way on the ground. But I figured we'd try and do some pleco hunting here. And there's one down there. I believe this is an L-74, if I remember correctly. Oh, what am I shooting here? Where am I at? Here I am, over here. Alright, so this is totally turning into a full-fledged, all-night project because I hate the way this tank looks. I have for a long time now, as far as the hardscape. As I redo other tanks and move things around, this is kind of the tank where I just throw in all the extra stuff. Like this piece of wood has just been sitting here for months now on top of everything, and it just doesn't look good in general. It's getting late, the lights have been turning off one by one, but I've turned them all back on just so I have light. But yeah, I'm gonna pull all these rocks out. Oh, there's a loach down there hiding. I don't know if I caught that. But yeah, I'm gonna pull all these rocks out and completely start over. There you can see the tail of a pleco down there. So I got a good portion of the rocks out, not that you can see with all the glare. All the plecos have already scattered, what few were in here. I think there's maybe 5. Oh, here's some. Let me grab my flashlight. Unless I just scared him away. See the clown loaches in there. Oops. But right here, this is the big L-74. It's a monster. Wonder if we can get this guy out, because that guy is huge. I'm sure he's buried in there pretty good. There's an, well, where am I on camera? You can see the tail of an L-91 and an L-75 in there. So I feel like all the plecos are hiding in here. We might have to take this piece of wood out. Now, as you can see, I got all my rocks down here, and I'm siphoning water into this tub because I want to keep this stuff wet so that the beneficial bacteria that's on here stays alive. As long as it doesn't dry out, like that top piece of wood there, we should be okay. Just taking a look at some of my plecos here. I did get them out of that piece of wood. This guy right here is definitely one of my favorites. Of course, he goes to the one place that's going to be the hardest to see him. Here's one I rarely ever see. This is the L239, which I believe is the blue Panac, possibly. This little guy is full grown. He's about 3.5 inches, and I see him once every couple months. So that's pretty cool to be able to see him again. Don't want to blind him too much. Whoop. Some really good looking L75 plecos here. Some nice big adults. A big fat female there. A couple of males. Here's the L91 over here. I got a smaller one of these growing out. But I think that's all the harassment I'm going to give them. That's going to be the end of pleco hunting for tonight. I want to get this tank put back together. So just checking in. Got my intake on here. This thing was kind of a pain to snap over the brace, but it sounded like it was going to break, but it made it on there. Not much has changed. I put this piece of wood in here. Not sure if I like how it looks right now. Oops, there we go. But I'll probably play with it a little more once I get some more water and rocks in there. Still got another piece of wood I need to put in there, so back to work. Alright, just checking back in. I got both the intake and the outtake on over there. I cleaned the sponge filter, and you can definitely see a difference on how much air it's pushing. I'm going to have to turn that down a little bit. Filling it back up over here to help just try to get a better view of what's going on here, because the water is pretty dang cloudy right now. I've really been wrestling with the rocks and the dirt, so I'm going to add some clean water in here, clean it up a bit, turn the filters on, and see what it looks like. Again, this is the L239. If anyone's looking for a pleco that's awesome, that stays pretty small, this is the guy for you. Like I said, he's about 3.5 inches, and I think just a beautiful, beautiful pleco. He kind of turns from a black, and then gets turns kind of blue towards the end of his fins. Kind of hard to tell right now with all the chaos in this tank and just all the dirt floating around. Everyone's out exploring, trying to find their new territories. Nice Millennium Rainbow. Not so nice Millennium Rainbow. Denison Barbs. There's a female Parkinsoni. There's a turquoise rainbow. There's a Kamaka rainbow. A yellow rainbow. Bosemani rainbow. Parva. Shoot, I don't remember this one. Rainbow Shiners in there, that's those guys. The 4-spot Splash Tetra. I got the Mascara Barb cruising around over here. Here he comes, there he goes. And the Crypto Harris Myrnae cruising around. Here's one here. Female, I think she's actually trying to spawn in this hole right now. She's already staked claim to it and is chasing everyone out, so she might get a spawn out of there. Or I should say I might get a spawn in there soon. That might be neat. Here's a Rubro labiatus. Just cruised in the back right where the glare is, of course. Where's she at? Really hard to see. Right there, that's a female. She killed the male, unfortunately. What else is in here? Lots of stuff. Too many fish. There's even a rummy nose tetra cruising around in here. Once upon a time I had a lot, but they've kind of slowly died off over the years. Whereas there he is. And this guy's just been a real trooper. And I think that might be it. Of course, tons of, ooh. Hey buddy, coming right to the front. Again, this is the L91. Super awesome pleco, as you can see. This is another one that I'd never ever see. So it's kind of neat, he's just hanging out here in front. A female epistogramma there. Orange laser Cory. But I can't get distracted, I'm getting pretty close, so I don't want to have another water disaster today. Alright, here's the moment of truth. I just plugged it in. Pretty quiet. I can hear the air bubbles in there, but that's about it. Not really getting the flow that I thought I would get in here. Maybe if I give it a minute and get the current built up here. I can definitely tell by the top of the water that we're getting some movement. But it's pretty much completely dead on this end. And of course I completely failed on... Oh. Well. That doesn't sound good. Maybe just working out some air bubbles, hopefully. Well, that was interesting. Apparently it's just working out the kinks, maybe getting rid of some air bubbles. But it's back up and running now. Anyways, as I was saying, I completely failed on where I put these because now I can't get the glass all the way back. But whatever. I'll just put this up there for now. Be nice and ghetto. And now it's really nice and dirty in here because I cleaned out these hang on back filters too. So I got everything stirred up really good now. But I think I'm going to call it a night. This little series was supposed to be about me cleaning up my fish room. And now I barely have anywhere to step between this leaking water everywhere and just tossing everything on the floor to me getting sidetracked because I was doing water changes while cleaning that and then I got sidetracked and then I got a wild hair up my butt and wanted to start using this thing. And then I wanted to redo this tank, and now I'm tired. I just want to sit down and relax. So, this was supposed to be a two-part series of cleaning my fish room, but now obviously it's going to be a third part because there is junk everywhere now. Okay, so it's actually the next day, and I have to admit, I am really impressed with the fluval Fx6. This water is looking way better than it has in a very long time. And as you can tell, there's an absolute ton of fish in here. And I was just maintaining this by doing lots of water changes, but I still could never get the water to look this good. And yeah, just really impressed with this thing. It's cleared up the water in less than a day. Now all I gotta do is get in there and scrub all this algae off the front of the glass. But the fish just look way better now. And I told you that these were going to be spawning down here in the corner, or in this cichlid stone. Well, apparently they already spawned because there are fry that poke their head in and out of there. So thankfully, me moving this whole tank around didn't hurt the fry. I actually took this stone out and was out of the tank for a while too, so of course they're not going to poke their head out now that I'm filming. It's usually how it works. But they're certainly guarding over here. My Honduran red points are spawning over here. The female's gone. She's been gone for about a day, and that's usually a sign that she's down in that hole right there, protecting eggs, and the male kind of hovers around. So yeah, tank looking real good, and I'm really excited. Then next, I think I'm going to focus on the plants in this tank and see about getting them thriving again. Alright YouTube, so that's going to do it for this video. Thanks again for spending some time with me in the fish room. This has turned into quite the process, so there's going to be one more part to me cleaning up my fish room, and I'll give you guys the final project of a nice clean fish room, at least for me, in my world anyways. Might not be clean to other people, but anyways, definitely go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it, and let's see. So my next video is Saturday. Got the live stream Saturday night. Gonna have Charles fish tanks on with me, so definitely come and hang out, and we should have a lot of fun.